विदधाति पूर्वम् यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तं ह देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशम् मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। वेदान्तार्थ विभासकाय गुरवे शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादी नखेन्द्र संघपवये योगीन्द्र वन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्त दिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधाम बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततम् पूर्णाय बोधात्मने। ओम। There is a great difference between all the theologies and Vedanta. And this difference becomes clear if we look at these two sentences. All the theologies, no matter whether they are Eastern theologies or Western theologies, Oriental or Occidental, all the theologies say that God is real. And Vedanta says that what is real is God. And this is not the same thing. When one says God is real, then the responsibility lies on your shoulder to prove whatever God that you have understood now is real. And therefore you want others also to believe. And so the person goes about doing the job of wanting to prove God is real. And when it is said that what is real is God, then there is no hurry, there is no activity on part of the person to prove God is real. Then what lies as the responsibility on the person's shoulder here is he goes into the search of what is real. He does not go about convincing others how real and how true that God is. He does not go about doing that business of giving proofs of miracles to prove God is real. Because all that is called as miracles also can be explained in some different way. This is the difference. Vedanta says that what is real is God. Satyam is the thing. And therefore now person plunges himself into verifying what is Satyam and what is not Satyam, what is real and what is not real. Don't just conclude that what is not real is something like the horn of a rabbit, which does not exist and that's why it is not real. No, sir. To say that horn of a rabbit does not exist does not take you anywhere. Nobody has that claim of saying there is horn of a rabbit and it is real. Nobody ever has said, nobody is going to say. What we find is something is apparently real. Though it is apparently real, it appears to be absolute real. In fact, it appears to be real. There is nothing like absolute real, just real. Something which appears to be real is not really real. It is just an appearance. But as long as one does not know that it is an appearance, he will continue to call it real. And that what is real is something which cannot be denied, negated, falsified under any circumstances, in any period of time. And therefore, something which is real for you now is going to become not real later on. Somebody whom you're going to say is your friend now, later on, you will say is not. So it is no longer a reality. Something which appears to be real. And therefore, the difference is between real and that which is not real but appears to be real. And even this is there because the Upanishad has said Satyam Brahma, that this Brahma is Satyam, that what is Satyam is Brahman. You want to know what is Brahman, and because that also because in knowing Brahman, one will be liberated from all the dukkhas. There is no other way to put an end to misery. And therefore, now the difference is we are not going to chase after wanting to convince people that God is real. In fact, all that we are doing is plunging into this search of what is real, because whatever that real is God. And therefore, now we need to demarcate the line from where that what is apparently real is now understood as not being real. It simply appears to be real. And appears to be real means it is only an appearance. It masquerades as being real. It is only wearing the mask of reality. But it truly is not. Therefore, now in the 18th verse of second chapter, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, wanting to show what is not real, speaks further. He says, Antavanta ime tehaha nityasyoka sharirinaha anashino prameyasya tasmad yudhyasva bharata. Kim punaha tad asat. Now the question comes, when you want to know what is satyam, what is real, naturally the flip side of the coin is you will have to know what is asatyam, what is not real. What is satyam is your quest, but that quest will not be fulfilled unless and until you can know what is not satyam. Kim punaha, because one is holding on to something that is not satyam as satyam. And as long as you do not see that it is not satyam, it is not real, the grip over it can never be lost. Because this is what one is going to hold fast as real. Kim punaha tad asat. To this question, very cryptically, Bhagavan Shankaracharya answers and he says, Yat swatma sattam vyabhicharati iti. That which goes away from its existence is asatyam. It is a very cryptic, very crisp answer. That which goes away from its own existence, which means that which does not have its own existence. That which does not have its own existence only can exist by borrowing the existence of something else. Is not truly there, but will only appear to be there. And even being there is also something that is borrowed. The being doesn't belong to that object, to that appearance. Ram Rai Kavi, in explaining this line, he says, Swatma Satta Vyavichara means Swasatta Nashaka. Yasya Sarvada Nasti Satta Kintu Pratiti Kale Eva Tad Asad Vastuhu. That which does not have any existence. It does not have any existence of its own, but appears, and that appearance is there only in that period as long as it is experienced. And this is exactly like the dream objects. Dream objects exist, but they exist only in that frame when it is experienced. It does not have existence before, it does not have existence afterwards. And therefore, that which seems to be existing but has existence only in that experience and nothing more, is called as unreal. Swa pratiti kaleva tad asad vastuhu. And even when it is experienced, we are saying it does not have any existence of its own, because that existence belongs to those factors which are its cause. And if the causes are dispersed, that object which was experienced also cannot be experienced. Just those causes are sitting together, and that is what is making the object existent, and therefore it does not have any existence of its own. It did not have prior existence, it did not have posterior existence. And the existence which that object seems to be owning is only in that particular frame of time when it is experienced. And over here also we are going to say it doesn't have any existence of its own. The existence simply belong to the factors which are its cause. Just imagine that somebody has viewed a very beautiful picture from the silken thread, from the silk string, a very beautiful picture. It is seen, the birds, the flowers, everything is seen. All those things are seen. But say, suppose if you pull the strings, the bird goes away, the flowers go away, the fruits disappear, the leaves disappear. Where were they all? They were just existing there because those strings were sitting together. And when those strings are pulled away, now those birds and fruits and leaves, nothing seemed to be there. It's lost. So that which exists only in that frame of time, also in that frame of time too, it does not have any existence of its own. It is owned by those factors which are its cause. That is asat. That is asat. Now that asat is further explained, which doesn't have any prior existence, posterior existence. What is that? He says, Antavanta ime deha. All these bodies are exactly of the same status. These bodies are also having the same status. The status of being asat. Antavantaha. Anta means vinashaha. That its destruction, that which is born with its destruction, which means it definitely can be destroyed. Something which is subject to destruction, something which is subject to being perished. Antaha vidyate yesham te antavantaha. What is the meaning of that word antavantaha? It means those for whom to whom the destruction belongs. Antavantaha. Yatha, but he makes it very clear. We know everything in this world, the whole world has come with a date of expiry. Is that the simple meaning behind it by calling it Antavantaha? Nothing over here is permanent, is known to all. What is something so new, special? This is not a piece of knowledge. You may be reiterating something which we have already known. But this is not a knowledge now. It may be a reminder. And the teacher speaks over here to impart knowledge, which means something which is not known before. Antavantaha, we have all known this world as Antavanta. Then what is Sri Krishna talking new about it? Do we really know what is the status of this world? No. And so Antavantaha, Antaha Vinashaha Vidyate Yesham Te Antavantaha. Those for whom those with those objects or all that to whom the destruction belongs, which means it can definitely be destroyed. It can be destroyed. Yatha Mrigatrishnikadau, Mrigatrishnikodakadau. Now he gives an example of the mirage water. And he says, Sadbuddhi Anuvritta. The water seems to be existing. The mirage water seems to be existing. And then, so which means over there you understand it to be existing. But pramana nirupanante vichhidyate. But on verification, and how does that verification take place? The verification takes place only by employing the appropriate means of knowledge which are free from obstacles and any defects. When those means of knowledge are employed, then what happens? Vichhidyate. Now, though your eyes may report that there is something that is moving in distance in the desert, but now you simply know nothing over there. It is not water which is fluid. It is an illusion of movement created by the heat. By the heat of the sun rays. And that is why you see movement, and the movement is associated with fluid, liquid, and water. Therefore, now one concludes that there must be water over there in distance. This is mirage water. Though your eyes may still show you the movement, but when the knowledge has taken place that it is not water, but it is only a mirage. That movement is only a movement which is generated. The air over there has become sparse because of the heat. The molecules of the gases are moving away from each other. And that is what makes it appear as if there is a movement. The heat of the sun is causing that movement. Movement is perceived, but movement is perceived does not mean that it is water. Some liquid, some water, no. We know after you have verified and employed the right means of knowledge, now your eyes, in spite of them still reporting their movement, now your knowledge has allowed you to say the water doesn't exist. There is no water there, it doesn't exist. Earlier, what were you saying? There is water. Now you are saying there is no water. The water is not there. And therefore, just like that, Mrigatrishniko Udakado, Sadbuddhi Anuvritta, the Sadbuddhi is there, water is there, was said before. And when the knowledge has taken place, now you can say, you are going to say, the water is not there. The existence of the water was seen before, and now that very existence of the water is denied. That whose existence can be denied, that whose existence can be negated, falsified, this is the anta, this is the destruction. Destruction does not mean that it is something that you will actually go and change its form. It's called destruction. No, over here the destruction is only the process. It is a result of knowledge. We are not talking about an event in time which changes the form of the object. We are talking about something which the knowledge has allowed you to do even when the object is still there. This is the vinasha. This is the anta. Antavanta ime deha. So also this is true. This is true about the bodies. What are these bodies? Nothing but few things. It is only an assembly. Things coming together. And if these things that have come together to be this body, if they are dispersed, if these elements which are sitting together as an assembly as the body, if these things start dispersing, the body will also be, it will get destroyed. Just think about the heat in the body, and if the heat in the body parts its way away, will the body be able to stay integrated? It will fall apart, it will disintegrate, it will be destroyed, it will not be called as body anymore. You will just call it as a corpse, rotting material, nothing else. Pramana nirupanante vichidyate satasya tasyaha antaha. That, and therefore the sadbuddhi, the understanding that something is existing now changes, and you are going to say doesn't exist. Tasyaha tat sadbuddhehe antaha tatha ime dehaha. So also is true about these bodies. Whether those are the bodies, that is a body of a rich man or a poor man, of an emperor or of a pauper, of a sinner or of a saint. As much as this is true in case of any body, whether it is a scholar or an illiterate, a rich man or a poor man, an emperor, a very important person, or a very insignificant person. Does not matter whichever body that may be. All these bodies have got the same status, tatha ime deha, which means even these bodies, when if you truly understand what these bodies are, you will know that the bodies also do not truly have their own existence. They seem to be existing only because some factors are sitting together, weaved together. As much as this cloth is, you are saying that this is a cloth because the strings are sitting in crisscross position over here and remove those strings. The material, the causal material may be there, but it does not, when it is not going to sit in the same arrangement any longer, you will have a heap of strings, but heap of threads, but there will be fibers, but no fabric, no cloth. Exactly, this is the status of the body. Antavantaha, verify, because this verification is very important. When you are saying that you are a pilgrim to God, wanting to reach God, and that God means that what is real is Paramatma. It means that one must be ready to give up that what is not real. And that giving up of not real is nothing, it is not a physical giving up, but it is only in understanding. Because that what is not real is only misunderstood as real. And therefore, all the giving up is truly just the giving up of, that giving up happens when you understand a fact. Therefore, the whole movement is, it is not a social movement. The movement is a movement of cognition. Only in understanding. All that you have to give up, tyagena eke amritatvamanushruhu. The Upanishad says it is only in tyaga, only in giving up. What is that should be given up? And what should be given up is what can be given up. That what is real cannot be given up. And that what is not real, if is understood, when it is misunderstood as real, only that misunderstanding can be given up, and hence that should be given up. And therefore, tyagena eke, it is only in this tyaga, in this renunciation, in this relinquishment, amritatvamanushuhu, one attains that which is beyond death. Amritatvam, the very essence of immortality, the essence of timelessness. Tasyantaha tathaime dehaha swapnamaya dehadivaccha antavantaha. Now he says, so also, one more example he provides to facilitate the understanding of word antavanta ime dehaha. These bodies are fraught with destruction. Destruction does not mean that the body is destroyed only on a particular date, and that is called as destruction of the body. No, sir. Destruction over here means in understanding, just in understanding that these bodies also truly do not exist. What is there is only its causes sitting together, and the day when these causes also disintegrate, when they change their arrangement, that body does not exist. You call it as death. It is like a kaleidoscope. In a kaleidoscope, you see the arrangement of those beautiful glass pieces inside. A very beautiful design is seen, and just shake it a little bit. All those glass pieces, the beads, etc., are still there inside, and you see a change. that body is already destroyed. All the material is still there, but a little change in the arrangement, and it is all gone. So also, this is true with these bodies. And therefore, swapnamaya dehadi vachantavantaha. And therefore, there, even these bodies, about whom you claim to be this I, whom you claim to be real, about these bodies, we are going to say they are exactly like bodies that you assume in swapna, in your dream. In the dream too, you are a man, you are a woman, maybe a butterfly, a bird, whatever, an animal, you man or a woman, whatever body that you have. What is it? Swapna maya dehadivachya. Hey, it also gets destroyed. And that destruction is not only on waking up, even when you were truly seeing it, it just appeared to exist. There was nothing there, nothing there. Swapna maya dehadivachya antavantaha. And the interesting thing about it is nityasya sharirinaha. That which is timeless, that which is real, that which is satyam. All this belongs to that, belongs in the sense all this appearance will always rest on something that is real. The snake on the rope will be seen because there is rope. We are going to say in this example that the rope is real and the snake is only an appearance. And we further are going to say that the snake was not there, is not there, and will not be there. And therefore, we can deny the snake's existence in all the three periods of time. And we can still deny it even when it was being seen. So in all the three periods of time, the snake had no existence at all. The rope was there. The reality was the rope. It is the reality of the rope. It is the existence of the rope because of which the snake appeared to be real. So also if these bodies are not real and they are only an appearance, that means that it requires something which is nitya, something which is satyam, something which cannot be denied in all the three periods of time, has to be its substratum. On which now this appearance can appear. So here we say, nityasya ukta sharirinaha, nityasya sharirinaha. Hey, all these bodies belong, are resting where? On this, that what is nityam. That what is anityam is resting on nityam. And because the unreal covers the real, just as the snake has no existence of its own, yet manages to conceal the rope. It has borrowed its existence from the rope, and yet it hides the rope. It conceals the rope. The reality is concealed. And it is concealed by not another reality. It is always concealed by that what is not real. Because there is nothing like many things, many realities and many unrealities. Only two things, real and the unreal. I and that what is not I. There are only two things. And so, Sharirinaha, Nityasya Sharirinaha, the one who is obtained in the body is called as Shariri. The one who is obtained in the body, Shariri. The one who becomes available, what is it that you find in this body? Is I, I, I. But this I is Nitya. And by that Nitya, it means which is untouched by time and therefore is through and through. The time cannot deny it anywhere. In the case of that what is unreal, the time has the capacity to deny it before and after, and knowledge has the capacity to deny it even when it is seemingly existing. The time is going to cancel it before, the time is going to cancel it afterwards. The pot was not there before it was created, and therefore the time before it was created has cancelled its existence, negated it, denied it, is not there. The pot is not there, now the pot is created. And when the pot is created, you are going to say pot is there. And when the pot is destroyed, again the sentence is going to be the pot is not there. So before and after, the time cancels the existence of the pot, but the knowledge allows you to see it, that even when it is seen as existing, it is not. What is there is only clay. Clay is the reality. Nothing is added to the clay. Just the name and the form has appeared on the clay, and that name and form will disappear. By arrival of the name and form, the clay does not change into anything. The clay does not become brass. The clay does not become anything else, stone. The weight of the clay does not increase. If it was 2 kgs of clay before, it is still going to be 2 kgs of clay, even after the pot is created. So the arrival of the name and form has not added anything to the clay, nor has it changed anything about the clay. And when the name and form is going to depart from the clay, it is not going to deduct anything, reduce anything from the clay. It still will be 2 kgs of clay. So what is it that was added? What was lost? What was gained? Nothing was lost, nothing was gained. It was just an appearance, nothing else. The knowledge now has allowed you to see that pot is nothing more than just the clay. It is an arrangement and nothing more. And thus, that which is now something like clay, whose existence can be denied. We are not talking about existence being denied by time, but we are saying existence of it can be very well denied by knowledge. And it needs to be denied when it is seen. And so Nityasya Sharirinaha, Shariravataha, this is Shariri, and that Shariri is Nitya. that which is obtained in the body is the one to whom the body belongs, the one to whom the body belongs. This is not to say that Atma is master and the body is the slave or anything like that. That Atma is the owner, the self is the owner, and the body is the possession. No, sir. All that is meant over here is as much as we are going to say, since there are only two things, and over here presently the claim is the body belongs to me. That means to this I. We are going to use the word Shariri, the one to whom this body belongs, only as an indication to begin, because that he is the reality. The mirage cannot be owned. That what is not real cannot be owned. Nityasya sharirinaha shariravataha anashinaha aprameyasya atmanaha antavantaha iti uktaha. Now all these are have adjectives which are going to put more light on what is the sharir. So we have understood what is asat, and that asat is all these bodies are only an appearance. That what is nitya, that what is real is the self. And so anashinaha, so to this I cannot be denied, its existence cannot be denied. And so anashinaha aprameyasya. Aprameya means that which is not a sub object of any tools of knowledge. Aprameyaha atmanaha antavantaiti uktaha. But we need to know who are such people who are now able to say with such confidence that this body, etc. All these bodies are only an appearance, and the indweller of this body, the Shariri, the embodied one, is real, Nityaha. Who says that? And here the answer Bhagavan Bhashyakara provides, Viveki bhi. This is said by the Vivekis. It is said by whom? By the people who are endowed with Viveka, with the discrimination. And therefore the discrimination is about what is Nitya, what is Anitya. Nitya means something which cannot be denied, negated, falsified. And Anitya means something which can be denied, negated, falsified, which is subject to being said as not existing. Anityaha. So Nityasya Nashinaha itina punaruktam. And now there are two words which are being said over here, with two words with which Bhagavan Shri Krishna, the teacher, indicates the Shariri, the indweller of this body. And he says Anashi and Nitya. There are these two words. Nitya means that which is timeless. Anashi means that which is indestructible. Something is timeless because it cannot be destroyed. And something is indestructible means that it is going to be always there. Is timeless. Something that is indestructible is timeless. And that what is timeless because it is indestructible. Then are we going to, is the intention of the teacher to use two different words with the same meaning, then the sentence by itself becomes defective, because you cannot use two synonyms in the same sentence. Using synonyms in the same sentence is the defect of the sentence. You cannot say a human man has come, because when you say human, it means a man. Is there a man who is not human? Is there a man who is not human? Therefore, a human man has come. What would be the meaning of this? It is meaningless. Therefore, just saying that the man has come is sufficient enough. You don't have to add an adjective of human to that man. It would just not become redundant, but the sentence will become defective. This is a case when you are going to use two words with the same meaning in the same sentence. Then using using the word nitya and using the word anashi, which means avinashi, indestructible, is equivalent to having a sentence with two words that are synonymous. It will become a defect of the sentence. Does Sri Krishna as a teacher does not know that it will become a defect? And the defect is not the defect only of redundancy. The defect would be that it will create misunderstanding, and the teacher is not going to speak only to confuse. The teacher speaks to remove the confusion. When a teacher speaks to create confusion, that is not teacher. It can be a salesman. The whole job of the teacher is to help overcome the confusion. The words are being used to solve the riddle, not to complicate it more. So does Sri Krishna not know this rule? Then why is he using the word anashi and nitya together in this one sentence, when he has to say that this shariri, the indweller, this I, the self which is obtained in this body, is anashi, is permanent, is indestructible. And permanent and indestructible would mean the same thing. How are you going to justify this? Bhagavan Shankaracharya says this is not a defect. In fact, by employing these two words in the same sentence, Sri Krishna has done a wonderful job of giving more clarity to us. How does Bhagavan Sri Krishna do that? Let us see that when we meet next. Om Purnamadaha Purnamitam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakrito Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you all. Thank you very much.